or Kelly's version?
Both.
My version.
Instagram.
Instagram is the place that started this. We actually were both in Atlanta at the same time for the Super Bowl. I was with my best friend, she was with others. And I had a crazy night with my girlfriend. And I was on Instagram. Like, remember when Instagram was like, it had like a popular page?
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the popular page. That's our baby. I was on the popular page, and this blonde-haired, I was like, I don't know if this is a male or a woman, but they're beautiful, and I hope it's a woman, because if it is, I'm gonna marry her. So yeah, my friend tackled me to the floor, went on her page, we found out it was a girl, liked a couple of her pictures, and I was freaking out because I'm not about that life, really. And then the next morning when I woke up, she had liked my pictures too. So, what's your story?
I was in Atlanta, and I get on the plane to go home after the weekend, and I see maybe 50 likes. a couple likes. All these likes. I go on her page, and I was like, oh, she's really pretty. She's probably straight because she's got some kids, and at the time I was like, oh, whatever, but she's pretty. So I liked a couple pictures. Then she started stalking me on Snapchat too, because I longboard, and she's like, we should go longboarding together. Trying to get in where she fit.
I thought she lived in like California or something. I had no idea.
I live 10 minutes away.
Wow.
You did?
Yeah. And then we were supposed to meet up to go longboarding, but it rained, so we went to dinner instead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we met through my best friend. She went to junior high school with him, and she introduced us.
No more?
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I had to go get her. She made me chase her.
Lying to these people.
But I didn't know if it was a date, so I literally said, what are you wearing? Which you guys can see this is a trend, right? So what are you wearing? And she was like, oh, I'm coming from work. I'm just going to have on work clothes. In my head, I wear scrubs. I don't know. So I literally wore a sweater and leggings and Jordans to a really nice restaurant. Yeah. It was, they looked at me like, oh, why are you here? So yeah, that wasn't fun. I had specific instructions from my best friend. She was like, have fun. Don't talk about Game of Thrones, because, okay, they should pay me. And she was like, don't snort, Kelly. Like, do not snort. If she says something funny, just don't snort. And first funny thing that came out of her mouth, I snorted loud.
She did. I was a little confused.
But
then it was kind of cute.
Did you snort? I'm like, yeah. Like, what? You heard it.
And then since then, she's been smitten like a kid.
Same, yeah. You have to.
Okay.
So a lot of young couples don't stand the test of time, let alone commitment of marriage. Elaborate on your opinions of being married young.
You want me to start?
I'll go. I think for us it was just communication early on. I think that we went through trials and tribulations with things like where we got together, so it made us communicate more, build, be strong, and trust each other, and then just not really take many opinions, honestly, from other people outside of us, whether they were married or not. Just believe in what we felt with each other, and then just keep going from there.
Absolutely. I could agree with that. And I just think the trials and tribulations early on and in our past relationships really set us up for sure. Like we knew what we didn't want. We literally laid everything out before we even said like, all right, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend. We literally told each other what we did like, what we didn't like, and how we were going to just be better people and just be better in a relationship, because we have been in relationships before and they weren't what we, obviously they weren't successful. So,
what's your love language?
You can go first.
Like, how do I receive it or how do I show it?
How do you receive it? How would you like to receive your love language?
So physical touch is huge to me. It really relaxes me. Like, my mind goes and it races all day, every day. ADHD, I'm doing a million different things. And when she just like kind of touches me, it just kind of makes everything else melt away. I always tell her hands have magic in them because I can easily just calm down. Sometimes the only way I can fall asleep is if she's like kind of rubbing my head. But then
calm down. You go to sleep.
Right, go to sleep, calm down, same thing. But then also, I think it obviously goes hand in hand. Quality time is big too, and I think obviously you can't have physical touch without spending some quality time together. So those are the two biggest ones for me.
Yeah. For me, definitely how I like to give. Just like small gifts. I don't know. I feel like I'm always really good at like knowing a person because I listen. So it's like all your favorite things. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna make you a cute little box or something, and then touch, for sure. Physical touch for me, like, is a way that I like to receive. But most important is like quality time.
Was the marriage the next step just because of like you guys dating, or do you believe that each other was the person for you?
So when we first met, I wouldn't say we were dating. We were just friends, and I think that was where we like really built our foundation because we were friends first. We were wholeheartedly friends. We talked to each other. We joked. We really talked to each other about anything. I mean, even stuff that we probably shouldn't have been talking to each other about. But we did because we were friends, and we knew that we could trust each other. We could confide in each other as well. So when we did finally rekindle, which we were still kind of in college, I guess it was my senior year. What was it, your junior year?
Junior year.
His junior year. We still were friends, I would say.
Then that quickly changed.
How important is it to you to love one another in each other's love languages?
Super important.
Very important. I think we have 3 kids, so and we just moved back from Chicago. So I think for us, it's really important because we don't get much time that's dedicated to just us. So being really intentional about the way we love each other is important, as opposed to wasting time, maybe giving love the way we see fit. Why don't we tailor it to what they want,
I agree.
What was the most difficult time in your relationship or marriage?
Probably most difficult time? Well, I would say, I guess, if I had to pick, it would be early on, because I had not on her, but when we got together, I found out I had another kid. So that, and he lived in Cincinnati. So I love my baby boy, but obviously with us being brand new and trying to figure things out, and then the distance that he was on, for me to be a dad to him, I think that might have brought in just, I wouldn't say trials and tribulations. It really made us just dig deeper for what we wanted with each other. And making sure we communicated, making sure we understood what was going on, for us to be a family while taking care of the kids I already had before me and her had kids.
Is it the same for you?
Yes, I would agree. It was hard because obviously I didn't have any children. I just our daughter will be 3, so just dealing with that situation with his son and just trying to roll through that. And then I will also say, before we got married, he lost his father and his best friend, so that was a lot as well. That was probably tougher than when we first got together. That was a tough. They passed away 30 days apart from each other right before we got married, so that was really, really rough. So that was in 2019, 2020.
Yeah, into 2019, beginning of 2020. Yeah. So I proposed when we was doing our gender reveal. I had got the ring. She had left for like a business meeting or whatever she had to do out of town. So I was able to like look for rings for like 2-3 weeks. She had no idea. Only 2 people knew, her best friend and then my 2 best friends. So 3 people knew at the time. Picked the ring, had it out, paid for it. She had no idea. So when what was that thing? The cannon bust thing to show what your kids are, what you have in gender. When she was all celebrating and everything, by the time she turned around, I was already like on my knee asking her, was she gonna marry me and do she really love me? And she was just like, what? And I'm like, are you gonna marry me? And then she was just like laughing, like, oh yeah. She had no idea. Nobody knew. I'm like,
yeah, I'm gonna marry you, yeah, huh?
Her mom actually almost missed it because after the gender reveal, she walked away. And then my dad at the time was still here. Him and somebody else were like, no, you gotta stay here and wait. Something about to happen. And she still was trying to go in the house. And then she was able to get back just enough time. I didn't even know she almost missed it, so I'm glad that she didn't. But yeah, I proposed during a gender reveal in front of everybody. That was the easiest way to have everybody there at one time. It'd have been no other way.
I really had no idea. My best friend, I call her my sister as well. We were talking on the phone and she's like, yeah, I gotta come into town for, my people in Michigan got something going on, so I'll be in town around the gender reveal. And I was like, oh, okay. So I asked at the gender reveal, like, oh, what time you gotta leave? I know you got a wedding to go to. She just looked at me like, what are you talking about? But I still never caught on until like the next day. She was like, this is what I came for. I didn't come for no wedding. I came specifically for this because I knew what he was about to do.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So I had called her sister to see, like, out of the rings that I picked, final, which one did she think Dominique would like. And she ended up picking the one that I had picked out, so that was cool.
So he had some help.
Describe your proposal, your wedding date.
Oh, wait. So do you want to say it or me?
Oh, I'm saying it. I got flued out, y'all. I got flued out. So, this is like, I'm so happy you said this because a lot of people, I've been trying to be humble, like, oh, where'd you get, engaged? I'm like, who cares? So, like every girl's dream, right? Okay, so when Nikki and I like first started chit-chatting, she was like, oh, like, what's on your bucket list? And like, one of the things that was on my bucket list was to go to Paris and see the lights, the Eiffel Tower lights. I don't know why I call it that, but the lights. And so I had never been out of the country. She was like, okay, you're gonna get on a flight. I'm gonna take you to Germany. When I got to Germany, she was like, we're driving to Paris. I love road trips too. So I was just like, what?
And the Autobahn is no speed limit. That was so much fun.
That was not fun. That was not fun, y'all. A 10 out of 10, don't recommend. So yeah, she flew me out, took me to Paris to see the lights. It was actually, you can finish.
So I always travel every year with my friends, and I went to Germany. I was there for a week. We went to Budapest and a couple other places, and then I had her meet me there. And I rented a car and we drove to Paris at an Airbnb. And then we went. It actually rained, and the person that was supposed to be the photographer didn't show up. So I asked a random person, like, "Can you take a picture?" But they took a really dope video, and it was right when the light show was happening. So I proposed, and then the next day we had this like scavenger hunt planned throughout Mamar.
That's a T.
Something like that. And we just kind of kicked it, and then we went back to Germany for another 2 nights, and then came home. So I've been engaged to 2 other people. Okay, she's the first person I've ever wanted to propose to, so I wanted to do it big and do it right. Because obviously it's the last one too.
Yeah. Right?
What's a quality that you can say you did not have until you met your husband or wife?
I'll go first. Communication. I didn't talk to nobody really. I didn't care to talk to nobody. I wasn't going to explain myself to nobody. But then I quickly realized that wasn't going to work if I didn't communicate.
I guess with me, it was just like my attitude, I would say, and just being more receptive to what's being said to me, opposed to just like shooting it down, like, no, I'm not listening to that, which I kind of am still like that. But for the most part, I tell people, like, in this marriage, I really have to shut up. Like, I have to shut up, and I just have to listen to what he's saying to me, and I just have to roll with it. My sister jokes with me when she calls me sometimes that when she wants me to be nice, she calls me Mrs. Price. But when she just want to talk or whatever, she'll say, "Hi, Dominique, how are you?" But she's like, "I need to talk to Mrs. Price right now."
Okay.
So just the different, I guess, personas of how I've been and what I am now.
Right. What has marriage changed for you?
I just feel like it was a blessing. Overall, everything has been up and up. Obviously, we had the tough situation with just becoming a family with my early baby, but then also with obviously like with the people that passed from us, we were all close together. So since then, overcoming those challenges, I mean, it's been nothing but blessings. We've been able to achieve everything we wanted pretty much. Obviously, we're still grinding, still trying to get better every day. But as far as like career-wise, with our kids, going out to eat, just enjoying life the best we can, just everything's been a blessing.
Yeah, and I would say just our blended families, like we have 9 parents all together, so we have a really strong support system. We have our godparents; they always come through for us. We have our friends. I mean, I think obviously I always feel like it takes a village, even in this relationship. You know, it takes a village just for the stuff that we want to do. Like today, we wanted to do this interview with you, so we confided in her mom to keep our daughter just for the time being because she wouldn't have never sat still during this. So I like the family aspect of everything. We have so many family members on each side, and then we have a really huge support system from our parents.
You guys prepare for the wedding. Did you have a big wedding? Was it small?
No, so we planned a big wedding. We were like, oh, get married in October in a year.
Yeah, we don't want to be engaged for long.
The pandemic shut everything down, and we were like, man, we don't want to wait forever. So on June 1st, we decided to get married on June 19th. No, I'm sorry, June 20th. So we had 19 days to plan. We were in Chicago, and we were getting married here in Toledo. So we did an out-of-state wedding in 19 days.
Yeah. During the pandemic.
I got my outfit at H&M.
I got my dress from Fashion Nova.
Dressing rooms weren't open at the time, so I actually bought a bunch of different outfits. Never even returned them, so they're still in my closet. The kids got their stuff from H&M too, I think.
That never showed up.
Oh yeah. So we basically. Oh, actually, my stuff that I ordered from H&M didn't show up, so we stopped at an outlet mall on the way home that same weekend before the wedding to get it. Oh yeah. And then we just basically, we had our wedding in Toledo, and afterwards we just bar hopped with everyone. We took everybody to a drag show, and a lot of our people were straight and had never been to a drag
My
show.
stepdad had never, so my brother and I were both gay and have been. My stepdad is a like manly man, and he was tipping drag queens. And like,
He's gonna kill you for putting that in there.
he
My brother was giving them 50s.
He loved it. He was like, I gotta come back here. Like, he loved it.
So yeah, we had somebody come up because I'm mixed. We just had someone come up during the wedding and say they'd never seen like such a diverse group of people getting along in such a great way, and just like, having fun, even like a gay wedding and all that. So it was really nice, especially in a moment of time that was kind of so negative.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I married her, so that was cool.
What is something that you absolutely adore about one another?
Something I absolutely adore.
Like we can joke about really anything, and we can talk about really anything. It may be, like I said, we were friends first, so it's just stuff that we send each other. It's just, I don't know, we really confide in each other. We don't really confide in other people unless we like absolutely have to, just to get other people's opinions as far as maybe something we might be conflicted in, or which route to go with, like buying a house or a car, or just even amenities for a house. But otherwise,
I would say that, like more of like we was best friends. Like, she my best friend. We do everything together. A sporting event, go out to eat, whatever it is. I can know if I'm with her, then we gonna have a good time no matter what. So it's always good to have that.
So you mentioned before you had kids previously before the relationship. So with starting your family and blending it all, how was that?
Probably just the thing that we didn't even know that we needed. Everybody in our family, I always like make this joke on social media. I always say like, get y'all Nikki, just not my Nikki, because sorry, but I'm just kidding. And literally, like, when Nikki came into not only my life but my family's life, everybody just, it was literally the thing that we were all missing. My family, like, once my grandparents died, it was a lot of divide, which a lot of, that happens in the Black community all the time. And literally just like helped everybody come together. Nikki is really big on mental health. My family is obviously, like, there's people that struggle with mental health in my family, but Nikki just shone like a different light on that, and it was so important for everybody to just come back together and be stronger. So I thank you for that.
Also, our 10-year-old has Down syndrome, so her mom and I used to clash quite a bit because when I came in, I wanted people to I wanted certain routines and resources and structures for him. And again, in the Black community, having kids with disabilities isn't necessarily talked about with resources. So I came in and changed a lot, and she allowed me, we had a conversation before I did. She allowed me to kind of take control over like his behaviors and kind of learning in that way. And he's come really far, but at first her family didn't like, who is this girl coming in here and saying stuff? And now we're all on the same page and it works so well.
Oh yeah, he's a different kid.
And her mom and I are really close now too.
What is something that bothers you about each other?
She don't fold fast enough when the laundry done. I don't like clothes in the basket, so I guess that. Other than that, I ain't tripping.
I don't know. That's a hard one. Devon has a lot of great qualities, so it's hard to pinpoint one thing. I guess he's just always on the run. That's something that I've talked to him about over the years. Just running yourself ragged. Like you got to make some time for rest, for sleep, for yourself. I guess that would be the only thing.
So how's the balance with work, family, kids, and most importantly, one another?
We just talked about that.
I'm also a basketball coach, so I work, I coach, I do some mental health workshops for athletes and youth in the area. I also try to coach my kids' things. Kelli, she's a stay-at-home mom, but she does work in the morning like part-time so she can get out, have sanity, you know. But I would not be able to do half the things that I do without Kelli, because our kids are always taken care of, our house is always taken care of, literally everything. Not only does she take care of everything, but like she'll pack my lunch and give me notes every single day. Make sure the kids have exciting things going on, and I just think like when we finally do get the chance to spend time with one another, half the time we're like unwinding and venting about the day, or just we do ask each other often like, do you need anything? What do you need? And I think for us, a lot of our quality time comes from like we make a lot of family moments, and we're really lucky that our family is close because we do. My parents and her parents really say like, you guys need a babysitter so you guys can get out. So oftentimes they'll say, we're gonna get the kids so you guys can go for a date night without us even asking. So we're really blessed to have people around us that want to continue like cultivating our relationship and seeing it grow.
I think you have to be really intentional about your tribe when you have lives that are as busy as ours. And I think over the years, we've been very specific about our tribe. So yeah, that's helped. And I don't know, I think in today's world, a lot of people don't find like it's really important to learn from your partner. Everybody wants to just already know it all, already be fixed, already be like, I got this balance. No, we don't. So I lean on Nikki a lot to be like, I don't know this. You're gonna have to help me through this. So that helps.
That's like the really cool part about we grew up totally different.
Oh yeah.
Our lives, like when they say opposites attract, that's Kelli and I. So we really do learn from each other because there's a lot that I've never experienced or understood that she teaches me, and like vice versa. And so like then we were able to, when we have mixed kids in Sylvania, well now we're in Holland, but we're able to bring kind of like two different worlds to them and hopefully give them the resources to feel comfortable and seen.
Any advice that you can give to couples about love, relationships, and marriage?
Do what makes y'all happy. And if it might work for somebody else, it might not work for you. I understand it's going to be trials and tribulations, but just believe really in what y'all set for yourselves to accomplish. And it might not happen tomorrow or the next day, or it might get knocked down, but you still stick to what y'all planned out and communicated, and everything will work out.
I could agree. Overly communicate. I mean, it shouldn't be a time where you are going to bed mad at your spouse. just talk it through. Even if you got to text everything you got to say, just text it and keep it pushing. But I always think that communication is key. How is your partner supposed to know how you feel if you don't say anything? None of us are mind readers. Like, sorry, we're not. So I guess that's my biggest advice.
What's marriage like for you?
Okay. I know I love Kelly, and I know I have loved Kelly before we got married. But I think when we get married, for me, it's like I like that she can now feel a different space of comfort. Not saying that marriage is like a end all be all for everybody and things happen, but I just think that it gives someone the space of like, okay, I'm here, I can breathe. If I make a mistake, it's okay. It's not like someone's walking away the second. It gives you space and time to be able to be honest and open and vulnerable because you're already to the point where you know this is your person and you're ready to grow and build in a different way. When you're just kind of dating, you're building individually with thought maybe you might come together, but we're able to really live in it, dive into it, and say we're coming together. When we got married, we decided, let's have a baby. And Kelly, we're very intentional about Kelly will stay home, and it gives you the space to really make those plans to better yourself, your family, and your future. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I think marriage for me is obviously I love Nikki, but it's just been really nice to I feel like I get to fall in love with so many different Nikkis. That's really dope because it is when we first started out, I fell in love with this crazy ass adventure who would just be like, look, you don't have the boys for a weekend, okay, we're gonna go here, here, and here, and just have these wild, crazy experiences. And then it shifted to okay, mom Nikki, and then this workaholic Nikki, because I still love workaholic you, even though you're help. But yes, I would say marriage for me is I'm falling in love with Nikki every single day. I know a lot of people say that, but yeah, I really get to fall in love with so many different versions of her. And then you're excited because I never want Nikki to stay here. I always want her to level up. Even if she has to fall back down, fall on me. So I'm excited to love all the layers, even future layers.
And she likes being able to have that good credit card.
Oh my god. Yeah,
but I second what Kelly said. I look like my parents with mine.
What did we learn in marriage? What did I learn in marriage?
You didn't learn when we were dating.
Funny thing is, she actually taught me what dating was.
Oh.
I didn't even know what dating was.
What is dating?
Well, according to my wife,
mm-hmm.
dating is you out with somebody, obviously another female. If it was in my shoes, we married. But if it was before her, then if I'm out with somebody or something and we're going on dates, little dates or whatever it is, it's date, right? That's a date. Not dating.
No, that is dating.
But yeah, she had to explain to me what dating was. Just because it's kind of funny, but I heard somebody said that we was dating. But growing up, I thought dating was like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, as you get older, you realize dating is more of you getting to know somebody.
Yes,
And my definition when I was younger was dating meant to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, hell no. But
I literally had to explain to him that some of the past girls that he talked to, they felt some type of way about him and he just didn't acknowledge it. He was like, well, we just went here, we just went there, we weren't dating. Yes, you were dating. That's why she feels the way she feels. And he's like, really? I didn't even think of it like that. And I'm like, yes, that's dating, dude. And he had no concept of it. So I guess that was something that he definitely learned.
Yeah, I learned that though in the marriage, not before the marriage. But
so see, that answers the question.
He still had to learn. I'm like, that is dating.
Mm-hmm.
Women, we know what dating is. That's we date. You guys just
go with the flow.
Or go with the flow.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. You just go with the flow.
Hoe around. I like that better.
Kelli McCoy.
And Niki McCoy, married 2.5 years, loving while black.
Dominique Price.
Devon Price. We've been married for 2 years, loving while black.
You were watching Loving While Black. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share, and follow us on Instagram @_Loving While Black. Thanks for watching.